Block Zero, Episode 1 of 200, Cold Storage. The first death looked like an accident. Elliot Brand was found slumped over his desk, eyes open, laptop still glowing. The coroner said heart failure, 32 years old, no prior conditions. The only unusual detail was the smell, ozone and overheated plastic, like a data center after a fire. On his screen, a Bitcoin wallet interface, frozen mid-sync, balance 0.0000 BTC. Last action, send unconfirmed. No destination address, no transaction ID, just gone. 3 days later, people started to notice a pattern. Not on the news, not on social media. Those channels were full of price chatter and memes, the usual noise. The pattern emerged in private forums, encrypted chats, dark corners where longtime Bitcoin users whispered instead of bragged. People who had used Bitcoin, not casually, but obsessively, were experiencing things. A man in Prague swore his hardware wallet whispered at night, softly clicking even when unplugged, spelling out numbers in perfect block intervals. A woman in Seoul found bruises on her arms every morning, rectangular and evenly spaced, like fingerprints made of QR codes. An early miner in Montana dug up an old cold storage laptop he hadn't powered on in a decade. When he opened it, the screen already displayed his wallet, updated, synced, and missing exactly one coin. The machine had no battery. Marcus Hale didn't own any Bitcoin anymore. That was supposed to keep him safe. He'd sold everything years ago after a panic triggered by staring too long at transaction graphs. Those endless chains, always growing, never forgetting. Still, at 3:40 a.m., his phone vibrated. No notification sound, just vibration. Again, again. When he unlocked it, there was no app open, only a message burned into the lock screen. You still remember your seed phrase. His mouth went dry. He did remember it. Everyone did, even if they pretended not to. 12 words didn't leave you. They hid in the back of your mind, waiting. The phone vibrated 12 times. That night, Marcus dreamed of a ledger carved into human skin. People stood in rows, naked and terrified, each with a private key etched along their spine. Shadowy figures moved between them, scanning, verifying, rejecting. When a key was deemed invalid, the person simply vanished. No blood, no scream, just an empty space where someone used to be. Above it all hung a glowing block. Height 0. In the real world, Bitcoin nodes began logging anomalies, transactions signed with keys whose owners were dead, coins moving from wallets that had been physically destroyed, and something worse, transactions that required no signature at all. Developers insisted it was a bug, a display error. Impossible. But miners reported something they couldn't explain. When these transactions appeared, their rigs slowed, fans whining like animals in pain. Some miners claimed they saw faces reflected in their monitors, pale, stretched, watching as confirmations rolled in. Marcus finally checked an old notebook he kept hidden behind tax documents and expired passports. Inside, written in his own handwriting, were 12 words. They were crossed out. Underneath, in red ink he did not remember owning, was a note. The chain does not forget contributors. Outside, his neighbor screamed. By the time Marcus reached the hallway, the screaming had stopped. The neighbor's apartment door stood open. Inside, the walls were bare. No furniture, no photos, no body. Only a phone on the floor, vibrating softly. On its screen, transaction confirmed. Block Zero accepts payment. Marcus realized then what Bitcoin had always been doing. Not storing value. Storing people. End of episode 1.